What
Yeah, I
was
do.
oh, we got a game. I was about to ask. You could maybe in 2 minutes explain me what I missed in the Deuce channel, because I no way I'm reading all that with Yak and 60%ers. So what fucking what's going on?
Well, Yak was saying that streamers have an advantage because good players avoid them.
Um,
And I showed data, uh, including yourselves, Shawnee and Dial, and you guys have a really high percentage of tough games, even though you guys stream. So it kind of says something.
yeah. To be fair, I'm not maybe not the best example with my 4 hour streaming a week, but
That's true. You don't stream as much as like someone like Art
yeah.
or Ray. But the main thing
I
with
think you will. It's not weird. Of course, if you're streaming and have 200 viewers, it is at least some of them will not be playing Blood Bowl.
yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
so I think it's not. It's not. But you'll also have people trying to play you. So it goes both way. I think.
Yeah, it's the strongest correlation is TV value,
Yeah,
and like
no
people.
doubt about that. If you stay low, if you play a lot of teams, new teams, you will have it lower. I think that will make sense for me, where I'm
Yeah, and
normally play very few teams but play them a lot.
yes, exactly. That's the strongest correlation, and coaches like Art tend to play more mid range,
Yeah,
but some coaches like Yaka State and Rick tends to reset a lot of teams because he tends to blow up his record, and so he kind of falls in the lower bracket as well.
uh, that's the fun part. The fun part is keep playing even when it goes shit. That's the whole fun part of Blade Blood. Like I had that my run with the Necro team where I lost a ghoul and my fanfare got minus AV in the first game. I think those 30 plus games with that team has been one of the funniest, the most enjoyable runs I had in CCL period. It's a lot more fun to try to save a bad team than just have a good team wrecking people.
Yeah, it's just a challenge, right? Especially someone like yourself who's played a lot of Blood Bowl, you want something different, right? So,
That was so fun, and Chocolate keep getting MVPs. And it was hilarious. Fucking Chalk.
dicey. Well, it looks like you got extra reroll. That was one of the things about this game was that I thought maybe Azenth's team might be in trouble with reroll management, but he got an extra reroll. So
Yeah, that's it's the general problem playing anything not being Wood Elf or to some degree Dark Elf is both Elven Union and High Elf. There's so few starting skills, so yeah, you need rerolls for everything if you have a bad game. Yeah, but to be fair, like the funny thing is, for my sake, if I'm watching anybody play Blood Bowl, 80% of the time I will be playing at the same time. So for some of us, it's the other way around. If you see me in a stream, that's more likely to spin into me if you don't.
ooh, early Taz.
Mighty Blood doing a thing?
That's the other thing. This team, Azen's build is boomer bust. Like he has no bench, he has no Apo, just so he can afford Eldril.
Eldril. Yeah, it is. It's quite fun build. I do enjoy it, but it's a bit like Amazon's taking when you take Roxy. Is if she's having a bad day, it's really tough. Huh? All the stunts in the world.
Now I might say I have to comment since I play Pro Elves a lot. I don't like this build.
No, but it's fun. But I don't like. I think in most builds you sacrifice way too much to get stabbed as on to be reliable. It's a leader because it's a one reroll build because of build rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I prefer it. It's the same with Amazons in most setups. I prefer getting more Amazons and more stuff than actually having Roxy. The only thing with Amazons, if you get too high team value building, then there's nothing you can use your money on, and then suddenly the star is a good thing. Where Pro Elves struggles enough just getting a proper team.
Yeah, I would prefer to have 2 rerolls, leader,
I don't like
and
that.
3 catchers.
I don't like going for the...
Oh, the side stepper.
No, it's also he's only 2 AB8. Just keep hammering the AB7 players. There's no need for that. It's the general thing in nav style like this is keep pounding on the weak pieces, and then you'll get to the good pieces anyway.
Eventually, yeah. Now he's stuck because he can't dodge out and risk a 1 and 9.
Nope.
So now he's gonna be risking blitz on the line rat and then a block on his only tackle player.
Yeah. Yeah, and you cannot risk against elves. You cannot just risk the ball staying there.
It's again it's a high risk move. Like if it works out, then it's because of the 1 early removal. He's probably thinking I'm gonna double down on it and get the second removal. But I don't know if I like it. Yeah, you're right.
There's only 2 Armor 8 players on that Pro Elf team. Elf Union. There's no reason to hit them. It's a bit funny with Sol having the accurate thrower. That makes me smile every time. You really don't want to use pass. Oh, not punished though. He could have been.
So based on what Saul has been playing in this tournament, he's gonna just lay back. If Azenth doesn't give pressure, he's just gonna sit back and just hold the center and then basically score on turn 8.
Yeah, and that's.
So it'll be interesting seeing what Azenth does. Will he just kind of play passive, or will he try to push forward and try to force an early score, or at least give himself 2-3 turns to score back? The risk of just sitting around in the center is that he's going to get a mighty blow hit every turn, and basically it might be irrelevant the remainder of the game because he might have just lost guys.
Yeah.
Because he's just been passive.
Yeah, it's just hard with those 2, with the removal and the 2 stun as well. I don't mind him getting his players like refocused, but he cannot stay there. You're right. Otherwise, Sol will just keep sniping him. At least to force the rats to do something. And he got an extra reroll to do it.
He does.
But he's been doing well, Sol, with the 1 less skill as well. And think about that, accurate could have been like a wrestle gutter run or something useful instead. So he's kind of playing with 4 skills.
Yeah, because he's the accurate's basically essentially a one-shot use per game.
If ever, because like exactly. Most times you will probably be able to hand off anyway. If you set it up. Which you should, because you shouldn't roll 2 2+s when you can roll just 1. But yeah, he's
Now let's see if Soul boxes those 2 prone line elves in. I like what Azenth did. He put the wrestles on the corners.
Yeah. Mighty Blow doing it again.
This is why Apple's good in nav.
Yes. When you can actually hit. Like I spent the whole half getting outbathed by those Pro Elves.
Yeah, he gave me fits because when it works, right?
Yeah,
With such a lean team with all the skills and the strong
I think
player.
he took out my guard early and another white on his head, so that couldn't hurt. Damn, the armor 7 dudes the other way in first half. But this is. But yeah, I did like his positioning with the wrestle as well. I might have put the 2 sidestep blitzers out there instead. Because Sol and wants to hit with
So
Mighty Blow. Or if not, you force them to hit with tackle instead of Mighty Blow.
is he gonna foul?
I don't even really hate it. He's so many players up and has the bench too. But it does leave.
He's putting the gutter in the front.
Yep, here comes the
Never
foul.
know which is being hit next.
And that's another removal.
Oh
Oh
gosh,
my god.
he's getting diced.
He needs to send some pressure downfield, so he cannot just. So he needs to at least move the ball. So an Eldred could be relevant.
Yeah, and also because the gutters are not in scoring position,
Yeah,
it's essentially a free turn, so he can play aggressive without.
yeah,
He can
that's.
set up the next turn blitz sack if Sol tries to screen past center. Oh boy! Oh my gosh!
He's not managed to hit a single red. Sometimes Blood Bowl is a hard game.
So it looks like our game's gonna be relevant.
Yes. I guess the KOs could come back and he could one turn. Well, that's bloody harsh. Every time Sol hits something, it flies off.
Here we go. Eldro is next.
Oh, but Dutch is a greeting that he is. Okay.
Survives, not dead.
Mega comic.
All right, so folks who are watching, the reason why we're streaming this is because there's the our division hasn't decided who's going to qualify for the playoffs, and Saul has to at least draw this game. And if he wins, then KFO has to win his game. If Saul draws, if KFO wins, he qualifies. But if he draws, then basically it's a random draw determining who qualifies between Saul and KFO. So if Saul
Yeah,
loses,
if
KFO
Sol
is automatically
wins
out.
and I get a draw, then it will be random.
Oh, it's random too. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, because we played 1-1 in our game and Sol, and I'm 1 point ahead of him.
And because I beat Saul,
Yeah,
Saul's only loss. Because of the head-to-head, I'm kind of this is more of a free roll. So
it's alright. It's a win-win. Why should it, Massam? Both things has ups and downs. But I'd like to hear your argument for 3 points or 2 points for a win.
all I know is when I'm in another league and I'm Nurgle, and I'm not a fan of the 3 points for a win because Miracle draw a lot. But yeah, I'm indifferent in reality. It's really depends on the format of the league, and you play under those constraints.
Yeah, I'm not feeling strong being both. I can see. I'm not strongly in any of the camps. Um, I just in my world, I don't think but I probably don't think winning a Blood Bowl game effort-wise is 3 times as good as drawing, so to speak. I'm not actually sure I think that. I guess you need to.
You need to push up. You can't just hang out here.
Yes, but I'm also not sure that's always the case. Still, I know what it's supposed to do, but I'm not sure that is actually. He still needs to put somebody downfield, right? To at least pretend that Sol needs to move the ball, and by moving the ball, risk failing something. Yes, and that's why they're about to hold a World Cup in a fucking ridiculous country.
Where is it being held?
It's a Qatar, isn't it?
Oh,
Whatever.
okay, right. Did they change at least the month? Because originally it was set in summertime when it was like 50 degrees Celsius.
I think, if anything, the problem is more the amount of people dying building the stadiums.
Oh.
Let's say the most people are working on projects like that. Morning, exactly. That's pretty shit.
Now you could dodge the Eldrill and no the gutter that's closest to the thrower.
Yeah, I think I'll do
Maybe.
that. And yeah, Hypno does through and Hypno gates that. It also means Mighty Blow is a little bit awkward. Might even risk the.
There we go.
Yeah.
Might even one die the he doesn't have a reroll, he burned it.
Yeah, I think I'll do the go for it with the wrestle. I'll put the dodge piece in with the 2 rookies, and then I'll dodge the wrestle piece. So we might also just go for that. Yeah, I don't hate that actually. Making it more awkward for the back. I'll still be tempted to do with the tackle.
Soul's in a jam now. There's too many guys up there right now. There's too many guys up there.
Yeah, I don't particularly like the. That's the thing with using the A23 players like a deep threat. Not deep threat, deep ball carrier. It's still pretty easy to clear it off. It's just one dying with a gutter runner. That got a little bit harder. Kinda need to go for it, don't you?
It wouldn't matter, you just go around, swoop around.
Yeah, I guess you can get 2 dice with the 2 gutter runners to free him up, but whereas it's more If you do that, then the thrower needed to go the long way to get out of it. If you're freeing up, if you go for the block on the catcher, if you can get the catcher down now, there's a straight line out of the nest for the thrower. But
I
with a
think the
go,
main thing, there's too many guys forward. He only needed, I think, 3.
yeah. But then Eldred was standing and he needed assist on Eldred, right? And then he wanted to tag the sidestep dodge piece. It's quite easy to explain why all the people ended up there. But yeah, it may be a bit late. A little bit, what can I say? Oh yeah. Actually, it's pretty easy. There's a hole down the line.
Yeah. That explained that. GFI would have helped prevent the... Did you
Yeah.
blitz with him? Oh, he's gonna do it with the reliable blitz.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Ooh, but that's... You need to run the long way around. I mean, oh, you can go the short way instead. But it's one extra square though.
Another AV board.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. 1, 2,
See,
3,
KFoged?
4, 5,
This is
6,
why
7,
accurate
8.
is important.
You can just do 2 go for it instead. And cage up there. But then Eldred is a problem. But it's not been a problem if you've got a runner standing there with the ball. Then you didn't even need to do the hit, then you just run away. But yes, if yeah. Well, tagging Eldred. Are we moving it up to a gutter runner then? Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I wonder if he's gonna throw.
Well, that's a 3+. Even maybe a 4+ without a go for it. What is the squares? It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's the 3+.
Yeah, I think he needs to go for it to make it. Oh,
Oh, Eldred! I forgot about Eldred.
Did he just pass over 5+ with catch?
Yep. Whew. I think he got lucky there.
Why didn't it re-roll catch? Oh, interception was there. He rolled 4 2 times. Oh, it's a 6+. No, his nerves are steel. Yeah, it's a 5+. He had 2. He rolled 4 4. That was bad.
That was a coin flip for interception for the game.
Holy my. That's why you don't want the ball in AG3, so you have to pass. Allowing a 55% chance of fucking that old drive up. Ooh.
Well, this might force the early score. It's not terrible for Azenth.
And it's on top. I'm not sure he was he had spotted that Eldred could intercept that route.
Yeah, I don't think he saw it. I played a game against a Wood Elf team once, and I forgot pass block 3 times.
Who the fuck? I did forget pass block on somebody. Is it Set? Does Setek have pass block? There was like a weird style where completely forgotten his pass block. Is it Setek?
He might have it. I know. There's some other players look like Dolphard.
Yeah, I've forgotten. It's so often. It's so easy to forget.
Yeah, not a removal. So basically, now the gutter is in range of the sidestep tackle, so you can basically even risk a 4+ dodge wherever that gutter goes. And if Eldro gets into range where he can remove a screen tackle zone.
It's not Setic. Who was it? Yeah, I forgot. Dolphod has pass block. Elven has pass block. Oh, Sinibad, I forgot has pass block.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It was Sinibad. I know it's one of those weird stars.
Hey Store, it's not really a random one because the result of this match potentially decides who qualifies for in the TSD, the Ramatut division.
So yeah, ooh, Mighty Blow, Mighty Blow, not doing a thing. What is this madness? Yeah, so if Sol wins, I need at least I need a draw to make it random, or win to just make it. But if Sol didn't win, I could get away with not winning or drawing. And it's looking pretty good, but I guess again with the 2 KOs coming back, then it'll still be 10 elves.
Yeah, it's got potentially 2 KO rolls to get him back.
Yeah, I might have to play Blood Bowl. It's a shame.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play me, Store.
Oh yeah, and we're playing in the last round. It's pretty nice scheduling. It's quite fun. Sometimes random round robin do good things.
And we both drew 2 goblins as undead.
I've been losing a lot of games. Let's put it that way. I was lucky not losing to Azenth's Elven Union as well. Well,
that is dangerous.
But he got tackle on him. Nothing can fail.
Good gosh.
Like, there's no way that the 5+ interception was happening. That'd have been hilarious if he's just intercepted and scored in the other end instead.
Well, he's got the other gutter here at 1 prone that it can add another tackle zone. There's no way.
This is
Eldra's gonna come into play with Hypno.
Yep. At least maybe. Might also just kill himself. That would be fitting for this game.
Well, there is no recovery, but it just makes it messy.
You know, just sidestep can take it up himself, right? Going for this.
Now he should tag the tackle vermin and then before he does the cage dive. If the cage dive is what he wants to do.
Yeah, you might also. That's still.
You can just do that.
You could also just blitz it with the wrestler and just put tackle on that gutter runner and stand in the middle of the field. And get Eldril back as well. Because Sol is not going to score next turn anyway. So I'm not sure you need to go for the sack this turn. So Elven, go for it.
Alright.
If you're standing there, you might as well Hypno, right? It's not like you're going anywhere else.
No, and it's good, and it's also he's in the center.
I think you tagged the tackle, not the fucking gutter runner with dots and block. Oh, I think that's not worked anyway. Are you kidding me?
Oh gosh.
I don't think you reroll that. And two, I think you do the 3+. It's a dodger. Doing the 1 dice, getting the 6+ straight up. I think you do the 3+ to get the 6, to get the 5, to get the 2 dice and that 6+. I don't know.
Right.
What is the difference? But you fucking not re-rolling that with your last reroll. 3+2 dice getting 6. 40,
Well,
20
you brought up a
plus
good point.
4.
You brought up a good point though, is that Saul's not going to score next turn, so you're better off just potentially not even dodging and just get that priceless gutter and then just basing.
Yeah, that's game.
Well.
Yeah, I think you just take the gutter runner and just base it. But yeah, if I've been rolling like this in just one game and been lovely early on, instead of being backloaded with castle fees. But yeah, so rolling a 6+ is what, 17% and 31 with a reroll, or a 3+ and rolling it on 2 is like 20 and 41. So if you want to do the sack, you take the 3+ fast.
Look at that. 4 removals, 4 Kaz, 2 KOs. And 1 was Apple, I believe. No, there's no Apple.
No apple, no.
Oh, he does have a back.
Yeah, it's expensive 1 instead.
Okay.
I'm not sure I like that actually. I would prefer to be able to keep one of the good players. This has been brutal. Like everything he touches just dies.
Saul, hands of stone.
And funny again, there was a 50-50 chance of the elf could easily just end up scoring. That's hilarious. That pass over Elven was fun.
Yeah, we could be talking about a 2-0 win or 2-1 win for Azenth with just that coin flip.
That's leaving. That's not great. Because if you take those wrestle hits, I know it's a bad 4+, but it's 4+, 3+, 2+, right? If you don't have to dodge now. And that's not really stopping much. Then it's 4+, 3+, 3+, 2+. If you make the first 4+, 3+, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's not even a go for it to hit. 4+, 3+, 3+, 2+, for 2 dice on the ball. It's not going to matter much, but that's ridiculous.
Well, I think in this case, it's like even if he loses the ball, what is Azenth gonna do? Just
Pick it up with that dodge player and hope tackle block doesn't work. 6 dice of pushes.
Yeah.
It could happen. I've seen worse stuff. It's just seemed ridiculous leaving it on when you are 11 players against 4.
5.
5. Is there a 5th player? Where's the 5th? Oh, the 5th is going for it down there.
Optimistic scoring.
Oh, it's coming back to. He's not. Has he managed to hit one single rat down?
He has.
How many? Not many.
1.
Why? Now you're making your sack worse now. What? You. Oh no, you can go the other way, I guess, instead now. Now we go 5 plus, 3 plus, 2 plus instead. That's,
You can go 4 plus, 4 plus, 3 plus, 2 plus.
oh, you can go 4 4. I don't mind going this 5 3 is bad. Yeah, you need to get away from that.
I think this. The way this game's going, I think that's just gonna kill his catcher.
Yeah, but I'm still. If it's me playing, I'm still trying.
Oh yeah, no, no,
He's
that's
getting killed there anyway. Like this is also obscene, and he rolls a 1, so he went for the 4 plus 2 plus to just get away. But if you want to get away, why have you been attacking the rest of it? I don't understand. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Mighty Blow did 2 of them. Or 3. Did he KO as well?
this is why I like in NAF having 12-man pro elf team with Apple.
Yes.
You never know. Some games you're going to be playing man down.
If you don't have Elder, you can have. Can you have 13 on Apple? And a second reroll, and
You could if you choose to have 2 catchers instead.
yeah, I probably want 3 though. And Mighty Blow didn't kill anybody this time. This 4 plus 3.
Yeah, that's the thing with this division. Both pro elf teams, both elf teams in our division went with star players.
Yeah.
The high elf team went with Prince Moranian.
Yeah.
And on an individual game, like these star players and these kind of go big or go home type of builds can work really well. But over a long haul, like a round robin,
Yeah, you
they
need
show
to.
their flaws. They show their flaws, and you're gonna get games where you run out of rerolls, where your star player dies, and you end up losing games.
Yeah, that's getting all the way to the final with that Prince Moran build like this Decision did is pretty impressive.
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, definitely.
And that was even that was like a 1 reroll build.
Yeah. Do you remember the Euro Cup, the team-based tournament where Dio on our team used the Wood Elf team with no Apple?
Yeah, that's
I
quite
thought that
normal
was.
if people play 3
Is
with
it?
the 3.
I just thought that was.
The problem if you want to play with the 3 man, you need to sacrifice either Apple or a reroll. That's one of the reasons I quite often in F doesn't play with the 3. Because that means you can have 2 rerolls and Apple. And it means you don't have to take a leader. So you don't need to take the thrower either. It means you can take 4 catches instead. Oh, this is funny though. Azenth had 1 dice on the ball carrier, kills himself. Random line red KOs a dodge piece.
Note that the 4 Elves on the pitch, 3 of them are stunned too.
Run away! Just get out of range with that block piece so he doesn't hit you.
I don't think he can even run.
He needs to go for it. Oh, oh! You can also just fall down. have no clue who we are going to hit.
Probably the Mighty Wolf then.
And kill ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh well, to see.
Anyway, it's not over yet. If he gets a KO, it's not easy, definitely. But he can still
You can still one turn.
get a draw out of this.
You can still one turn with 7 barely, depending on the setup.
You gotta be able to steal games with Pro Elves.
I'm not sure. The problem is, of course, also he knows he has nothing to win, really. Besides the
Overall,
pride of people looking at him playing.
So if his lineman comes back, he's got 8 Elves.
Yeah.
And he's still got his leader. So again, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
This is.
And on his LOS blocks, on turn 9, if he removes a guy or two with KOs, even KOs, then it really gives him a plausible opportunity to do a draw.
Yeah.
Carry on the Blodge Blitzer and just score on turn 16. Well, he's got the Fame, so he might get a kickoff reroll.
Yeah.
This is really a question of whether once the rerolls burn, how much commitment he wants to do on the one turn.
Yeah, I'm. If it's me, I'm going for it. But at least take the first block and see how it goes. It had been nice having a sidestep catcher now, though.
Yes.
Boom, boom. But it's still absolutely doable, and you just go that way where you have to dodge.
Doing here. Going on the tackle side? I guess so. He has one less. If it does this right, he can have just only one.
And there was much rejoicing.
Valfing Studio. Thank you for the host. Yeah, and you can actually. You don't need to go through past tackle if it is. You can just push it straight down anyway. And what is Wild Thing Studio? Besides a great name.
One thing here, just set. The other one is if he's not seeing it, especially because of his time, it's not necessarily whether you see it capable. If he's not seeing it, he should really set up for a quick snap one turn, or
This is fine.
Set up for a riot.
Yeah, not too bad. It's a bit beaten up. Yeah, this is fine. That was what he started setting up for. But you don't really need that. What he could put is he could put somebody. Yeah, exactly. You need to go all in on it if you go for it. Actually, the ankle is. I can go. Ooh. Yeah. Block. Ah, I did see the message. Yeah. I can see I have a message. I gets the quick snap as well. Oh la la.
Oh, the kick is on the wrong side though. Oh,
It
I
could
can
be a
water bounce.
touchback. If this is a touchback, then it's definitely on. If he doesn't fuck this up with the quick snap, that's so easily done. But you get full new 3 minutes to think about what you've been doing all your life. You could also really use the guard piece on that Pro Elf team.
Yeah, I built Pro L teams in NAF with one guard, but on a naked lineman.
Yeah. I don't. It gives them like it is quite tempting to put it on. Why is that ball? Oh, lucky bounce again. He got the 5 out of 8. Just
Do the pass first.
yeah,
Do the pass first.
it doesn't cost you anything if it fails. That's a classic one. Is people not doing the pass and ending up making everything worse for themselves. But this is pretty shit. Can he even?
Is it even in range? 6 plus. Maybe that'll make it a 5 plus.
He made rolled 5. Rolled 556. Oh, that's hilarious. I like it. And if this had been a touchback with that quick snap, oh my dear. Is he just giving up and blocking people? Or is he trying? Oh, he makes the pass!
All right.
I don't hope he needs that catcher. And then both down.
Oh well.
So much great effort. And then double skull.
Didn't
Oh,
get
that's it.
removed.
No, not
Victory.
this. Not this time. Oh, this is funny. And his elf stays out. I actually, you might as well if Sol doesn't set if Sol set up late, you might just try to one turn again.
Let's see how much of an investment Azenth makes on the LOS blocks. essentially determine what his purpose is. Is he trying to get lucky and get a couple of removals to even the numbers up a little bit better? Or is he going to try to preserve a reroll and try to just minimize the number of blocks and try to stabilize the center and just burn some turns? Now he is leaving the side open.
Yeah, with putting the two gutter runners out there, that's definitely.
It looks like that's what he's going to do. Azenth is probably going to. Oh no, he's putting guys on the line. Overcommit. It looks like he's going to go with the route of let's hope to get lucky. Get a few removals and see what happens from there. Oh, he gets another reroll.
Not bad, not bad.
So the decision to make the LOS blocks is actually a good thing. He's got it.
Yeah.
But he's not knocking anyone. He didn't knock the first guy down.
It's really hard to knock rats down, you know. Like.
Every time I played rats in the chalice, they've been invulnerable.
Because rats are the best.
There was a game against Lamar's.
The Manziles.
He one turned against me in the rain, and he outbashed me, and I was orcs, and I had like 8 mighty blows. And he didn't have claw.
No, of course not. I must admit, I felt a little bit like that when I badly heard that guard stand firm broke around 1 in this season. That was hilarious. Got a cage?
Yeah, and then I agree with his choice of having it on the blodger and trusting blodge.
Yeah, that's... yeah. Yeah, me too. It's that bludger need to do all the work. Oh! It's a new half. It's a new elf. It stays. It stays alive. Is he just going to base in the cage?
Yeah, probably apply some pressure. Like it's like Saul's not too worried if Azenth scores early, right? So
yeah, you kind of need to do either. You cannot just tag a few players like and just letting your players get hit. You need to either like commit to putting pressure on or not.
in the best case scenario is Azenth double skulls or double ones on snakes on a dodge. Just wins the game outright. Creating outs for wins. Now, not tagging the guys at the back leaves Azenth an opportunity to just punch through the center, depending on where the other last gutter goes. I still say that that's the best approach.
Yeah, me too.
Or you can roll a whole bunch of dodges and hope that none of them fail. And just rebase back in your half. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's picking the side without the mighty blow. No, he did that. Now I'm not sure what he's doing. Blocking backwards. Oh, he got a removal.
It's incredible! And
He
then
might be
straight in
blitzing.
for with Abu.
He might be blitzing with the ball carrier. Yep.
2.
He's gonna back out. Gonna reform that cage. Tries to move forward.
Yeah, this is... And then he blasts his blocking tackle off. And that's a power as well, if this is a KO as well. Oh, this guy is not falling down yet. But that's a pretty big difference, right?
That was a good turn.
Apple gone and a rat done. Oh.
A good turn. Looks like he's, at least for now, he's committed to stalling it out. Try to stall as long as he can.
It's not horrible if again it's now he's 7 versus 10, right? And the rats could. It's a bit of, if you're a bit lucky, you could get rid of a couple more. And if
No, next target's gonna be the leader to get rid of a reroll.
yeah.
No, he's not. Still not gonna catch him. Still alive.
I'm really. He got the both done, but I really don't like he makes. He's going for 5+ rolls instead of 4+ rolls.
Yeah, I thought maybe the leader would be some more value.
Yeah.
And a bit more certainty in getting a knockdown.
That's the whole thing. He needs to get back on top of the elves. And going for a harder hit is not really helping.
But one of the things with Soul is that he's been going for the high value, higher,
Yeah.
the harder targets. It's like the tackle blitzer.
The tackle, yeah, and then the tackle pizza killed itself just for the irony. Oh, that 1-into-1 was slightly hilarious. That's not really any pressure. If you can get 3+ on the mighty blow, you free up half your team. Or maybe even being greedy and block will not block. You do have rerolls.
Yeah, I don't mind that greed right now, only because just
you can actually make a new cage back where you started now. You blitz with ball carrier and that gutter runner. And you can actually cage in the middle of the field again. And you get to block another line rat. I think that's what he's going for. Yeah. Oh dear.
oh my gosh.
Okay, this has got a bit more spicy now. Because you do have attack a naked 2 plus to, and a naked 3 plus block. Well, there's nothing you can do about that. Just roll it. I'll follow up here. Yep. To get this, the tackle has to run the long way around if you fail something. You're not really afraid of a naked, just a 2, like a 1 die without tackle.
Yeah.
I'm not even afraid of a 1 die with tackle in this situation either. I might even dodge if you dodge that catcher, you might even be able to put him, yeah, like he's putting him now more aggressive, creating a bit more space now.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
Now he's got something. Now Saul's got something else to worry about.
And just the cage, yeah. I like it's not been having much to work with, but I like most of it. Besides taking the 1 dice. Besides taking the 1 dice instead of doing the 3 plus for 2 dice.
Yeah. He hasn't played that. Overall, I don't mind what he's been doing. He just hasn't had a lot of resources to play around with.
No, that's I've just like that one, taking the 1 die instead of trying making 2, of just not taking the hit but waiting a turn. Understanding Sol is never going to score anyway, so you get a chance next turn as well. Well, it's a fast reroll. Did you really need to reroll that? Like, Asnod is not scoring, and if he's scoring, you're happy. Did you do? That's a bit greedy. You've got plenty of 83 players if you need to score yourself.
Now, KFoged, if you remove players, good players become bad players.
Oh.
When I used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they used to always say that because some of them would do MMA, they were like training grappling as part of their cross training for MMA. And the argument was that a black belt becomes a brown belt when they get punched in the face once. And they become a purple belt when they get punched in the face twice, right? So maybe Blood Bowl has that similarity. It's because how do you deal with a better player than you? Just start removing assets from him. Punch him in the face.
Keep punching. Yeah, I guess the straightforward route, if you want to get movement forward, is going through that gutter runner, but I don't think it's the right way. No, it's not taking that either.
Yeah, I think he's content with holding the center.
Yeah.
One could argue that it's still too early to push forward.
Yeah.
And heaven forbid, even a sideline cage. Yeah. I hate sideline cage.
But it helps being a sidestep blodge. Movement 7, 84. Yeah. I quite like Dio would say, I'm quite happy playing up around the sidelines because I have a oh fucking hell, he's blocking like shit though. Still.
I don't like that because even not knocking down.
Yeah.
That guy.
And now needs to take the hit where he could have gone. Yeah. I think he's hitting. It's been a little bit. If anything, he's been hitting too much to get his position, instead of just taking what he's getting for free. Yeah. I quite like playing around the sidelines, but I also think I can outplay like 9 out of 10 people playing around out there.
Well, this is an example of overblocking.
Yes. I've won many chalice games, and also multiple chalice games on my opponent overblocking instead of just winning. I think one of the best example was the Niku with Ungans and his was it Orcs, where he
Oh, yes.
somehow decided to give me the game back after completely owned all phases of that game until he just kept blocking too much and ended out of position slowly.
Granted, he's secured it relatively safe. It's not terrible. I would not be super worried if I was Azenth right now. So he's got 4 turns left. At this point right now, I'm thinking next turn he needs to consider moving forward.
And yeah, Wild Studio, that's great. So we'll get some Italian coverage of some chalice games. It's cool. Oh. Yeah, it's such a shame he lost those rerolls, and at least one of them was a slightly silly block.
Yeah, he did. Honestly, if by turn 15, even if I don't have a reroll, and I'm 4 squares over center, I'm happy. Obviously, I'd like to have that last reroll, but and the catcher up down the field, he's only got a 3+2+ with dodge right now, unless he chooses foul. I might even consider fouling. Here we go. Oh, double.
Oh, and he does.
Freeze up that side.
Interesting, and that's again, getting out of this is not really a problem. You move dodge around, and then you dodge out and blitzes that. Oh, you can even wrestle. That. There's so many options.
Can wrestle the gutter? No. Go around. Risk the... Depends on how much risk he wants to take with the last reroll.
Yeah. Again, it's if you're not. But he's burned some silly rerolls. At least one again. He really wants back now, right?
Yeah. Especially the last one. The last one was, I think it wasn't necessary to make that block. Well, Marza, Azenth is actually doing relatively well with short few men right now in second half, and Solreth isn't getting the removals that he did in the first
8,
half. So
9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's almost up to like even-ish numbers.
It's almost even plausible to dream that this might be a draw.
Follow me, everything is alright.
Hold on.
Bad Sansa, yeah, that's good. Like he can try to do stuff, but it's a bit awkward with the sideline. I like that turn. A little bit more.
Bit more elfish and not less.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind blocking with elves, as PC will tell you. More than that I block more than people actually think. But the positioning is so much more important than than some of those blocks seem to be more for takeouts. With the risk reward being a little bit bad, I think.
Yeah. What's good here is that the other catcher that's prone is still
Yeah, and it cannot
not
foul
not.
it again. So if you leave that, you can always... He's going for the one die, or he's going for the leader.
It's a question you can't reroll that.
Yeah, and again, Sol has used the least. His reroll was pretty loose as well. Where if he had one more reroll, you could think about rerolling that one. I'd probably not rerolled it anyway. But
Yeah, because basically a failure means that you're basically giving him the draw.
yeah, if tackle is not there, tackle is the only thing that's right now holding you in the game. And if I was Asnod, I will try to look in a way where I could tag that tackler with somebody from the back. I will probably leave somebody behind. Potentially get the lead up in front of the tackle now. And just try to screen off with the 2 dodge pieces and the blotcher. And get the tackle out of that. Maybe even just dodge away, and if everything works, then try to dodge somebody else out to tag it. That Goddard's not doing any difference.
This is like 2 pluses in a blitz to basically have a screen and just completely leave the rat.
Yeah, you have the dodge from the other side, so you can actually with the 2+ out hit, then 2+ out, and then 2+ with the leader. If everything works, then the dodge piece from the other side can take the last.
Screen spot.
Oh, and a buff down on the way. Well,
That's good. That's good.
all is fine. Yeah, and then you dodge.
Pick up the prone catcher first.
Yeah, just need to figure out where you want to put him. Okay, so he's going for the aggressive cage. Yeah, I don't hate that.
All right, 2+ for the win, or 2+ for the draw. Potential. Not saying it's guaranteed.
It's pretty close. And now you go 3+2+. You go 3+2+ and get that tackle out of the equation. Okay, now you go 3+2+ and get the tackle. And tag the tackler with the wrestle, surely. That's, if that tackle is not coming back, there's nothing left.
Yeah, other than hoping rolling 2 6s.
And even the god of, like, can he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yay, he did it!
Yeah, like, he's done mostly the things that
Yeah,
are right.
yeah, it's a little bit fine tuning here and there. In some risk reward profiles, I think, but otherwise it's coming there. Maybe not in the right order, like I agree you put on. And now he's just going to try to screen it in. Which is really hard because there's nobody would block. It'll be at maximum of 1 dice to more or less getting 3.
Yeah.
Not to
Coming around. Yeah.
later to this.
Even the worst case, if you can't even cage, you can just trust and blodge with sidestep and just leave a catcher with Nerves of Steel around the ball. So that even if he gets lucky powed, you have a high chance of just catching the ball. Sacrifice, the Wrestle Gambit. I'd even consider burning a reroll this next turn for Azenth.
Yeah, if needed, yeah. Fucking hell, that streamer versus non-streamer discussing is still going on.
Still going on.
Ooh, cannot be asked. People need to have a life again.
It really makes no difference, in my opinion.
It's tiny at least.
And even if it did, what are you gonna do? Start banning streamers from qualifying? It's like
Now there's a lot of other. If you wanna enhance your odds of playing bad players, there's a lot of other ways you can do it as well. It's not like you can also just look at when you're playing.
yes, or just play dwarves at 1300 TV. And you'll
Yeah, there's a lot of. If you want to qualify, there's plenty ways you can do it. If that's your goal.
or play 0 reroll pro elves like Yakiste.
That's hilarious. Almost worked. The problem is winning a 6-game knockout tournament is. It's not that likely.
Oh.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh,
So the key here is get that 3+, 2+. Assuming he does it after the 2+ dodge around with the other catcher.
Ooh.
Oh. All right. So this is 60% chance for a knockdown. 60 or 55? Okay. With a reroll with 2 dice.
Reroll getting 6 plus
55?
52.
52.
I think it. Yeah. Let me. So 30 without, right, and about 50. Like roughly, I think in my head it's 30 and 50. Yeah, you can also just be part of the Banger Bros.
Samba, everything.
We I would say Rick is trying hardly to be part of the Banger Bros at the moment with that Chove run. Oh my god, that was some horrible pylons in that game. Versus who did he play in the playoff last round?
As I was kind of trolling Dio, doesn't matter about the timing of pylon. You have to do it every time. You have to be committed to it. You sacrifice position, understanding that eventually you're gonna remove
But
everyone
phew,
from the pit.
I was that's the last the last pylon where he allows actually where he opens so you can run the back around his players as well was particularly horrific on a zombie. And generally, any pylon on zombies is borderline horrific.
What? Why did he use the block?
Isn't he
I
wants
guess
two
it doesn't
guys?
really matter. It doesn't
No. Yeah, that's why I don't take a pylon. Here comes. Oh, nope. Is it?
matter.
Oh,
Oh, he scores! Score! Forget about your next turn.
yeah. He's now it's trying to stop the one turner.
KO came back, did it? No. You can't even backline this.
No, it's you. That's this is horrible. I think I will probably put them some kind of the line and try to make it harder to push the ones that's not the sidestepper.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Turn
horrible.
off. Change
But
dodge to
the
manual.
thing is, you're saying it's a okay.
No.
If the only thing you need to make sure is that he needs getting 5 pluses. You need to force him to need pushes. Because as soon as he can knock it, like if problem with backlining and most line of scrimmage setup is people can just get knockdowns and everything, and then it's still fine. It's harder if you do 2 apart. As soon as you do 1 apart or tied and backline, people can knock all 3 down and still score with movement 8.
Alright, get ready for 3 minutes of soul thinking.
But of course, there's also the kick, which if it's a deep kick, you need to roll more dice. Oh, he's still not happy. I don't like again. There's no guard either on the rats.
Yeah.
So you need to force him to use some resources. But yeah, it's horrible being 7. There's no really good setup. This is kind of alright. It's yeah. You can only do one thing. It's trying to make it harder.
Yeah, in the end, 1 turns, percentage-wise, it's still in your favor anyways.
Yeah, it's again 1 turn is not that easy. Even with an Ati, it's not a given thing. There's still a lot of dice that needs to be rolled.
Yeah, with 7 guys, he can't even protect the center. It's like, once he gets through, he's through.
Yeah, we're back again. He needs to try to make it blocking harder. And it is kind of because he needs to dump the player down to make it a 2 dice. And he cannot afford to knock him down. So it's a 5+ hit. And as all know, that 5+ hit is even on 2 dice is actually not that easy doing multiple times.
Yeah. This is
Most
the
one
one time.
turner, most one turner fails on just getting the first 5+.
Pretty much, yeah. And he needs 2 of them. He needs 2 of them.
And that's still dice. I'm multiple. I'm not more than once tried failing getting my pushes on 3 dice with rerolls. The classic is you have those games where you feel like you cannot knock anybody down, and then your one turner is just powers all along.
Yep.
That's the
Yeah.
classic feeling.
Pitch invasion. I mean, pitch invasion would be really on the LOS would be quite funny.
Yeah, if it takes those 2 to the right, that would be hilarious. Or just the perfect defense will be a really big problem. Because what he could, at least it's a lot harder, he could kind of set up to going multiple ways with 11 players. And we could end up relying on a 3+ pickup as well. That's brilliant.
And another thing, KFoged, is that accurate might come into play.
I hate it if Accurate's going to make anything. Did Accurate actually make the pass work? Cannot recall what he actually rolled on the pass. I still think it's better just using gutter runners, but
This is how you're gonna have to play in the 2020 rules. Or sorry, at least more relevant now because gutters can't throw that well. But you can still hand off. They're still movement 9. Perfect D. Oh my.
oh, that's awkward, especially again with this setup.
Yeah, that's it.
That's can he? Can? It's really awkward. Make sure he cannot fill that hole. Oh. Oh, was that blitz pit as well? Where who was it that set up horrible and then he wrote perfect defense to just stop everything?
No, it wasn't Blitzpit. It was
I had it in blitz pit. I had somebody that
Yeah,
moved. He had only one in the sides, so I just had one I needed to get past because he was doing like last second switches in blitz pit. Was it Mankins? Everybody. It doesn't really matter.
I don't remember in the Blitzpit, but I know in the last season's Chalice.
There was the sidestep one where he got perfect
Yeah.
defense and still didn't stop sidestep.
Yeah, he actually gave charge on a one-turn attempt that he made because he messed up his setup with the perfect D. I don't think there's much to think about here. I don't think he can do this.
I don't. Yeah, me neither. Like I still like him spending time taking a look because people sometimes do mess up perfect defense and leave stuff on. And that is the problem is because you don't have sidestep. Where like this with being one back is really easy to abuse with sidestep. But without sidestep, it's so much harder. Can he get it? You can like push it back. At least it's good practice anyway. I'll try. I'll do a lot where I just do the one part, some of the one turns, even if I know I cannot do it. But just do the parts I can do just for keeping the practice. And he needs to get into the next square, otherwise that's useless. I think. For what
You know
he's
what?
trying.
There's a shot here, I think.
What?
There is a shot.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible, but it's. And if that got a run out sidestep, it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah. He might be moving too many guys though.
Yeah, who's blocking second time now?
It's good. As you said, it's good that he's actually thinking about this, trying to see if there's any way to squeeze something out of this.
Oh, I was so happy I got to use the Goody Fill in one turn against PC. That's brilliant. Thank you, PC.
Oh,
That's a fitting ending of this game. A dead pro
yes.
elf. That's fitting.
Oh, and a pow. Let's see if another one's dead.
What's the gutter run? You're welcome.
Well, I'm disappointed that accurate didn't come into play.
Oh, it can still do a thing. See, accurate for the pass. How good is that? He could also had a got a runner that picked it up and passed it. Hand it off to an elf. Hand it off to. Can you hand off to an elf? You can pass to your opponent. Can you actually hand off to? Well,
Good
I
game.
guess.
It was actually a good game. Tough
Yeah,
game for Azenth, but he maximized, I thought, as much as he could outside of nitpicking what he needed to do to get that draw. No, it was actually a good thing to do, Saul. At least even for practice, try
yeah,
to see if you can squeeze something out of there.
yeah. Like I was saying, I do that quite often, even if I know I cannot finish it. I still do stuff to keep. I think if yeah, exactly. I like the practice of just seeing what you can get away with, just trying and see what you can get going. I think in generally I don't like your fascination with going for good pieces versus going for pieces you're more likely to get rid of. Yeah,
Yeah, they were.
nobody thought. It looked like it might have been having a shot, especially if you had sidestep. That's definitely been a shot.
So I thought maybe when he caged at one point where he had the leader exposed on the corner, instead of going for the catcher with dodge, uh, Mighty Blow blitzing the leader because to potentially remove an extra reroll off him. Exactly on the back corner there.
Yeah, where you went for the 5+ hit instead of the 4+ hit. Yeah, but I'm generally just not fan of that. I prefer being more.
The other thing was maybe pressuring his cage a little bit more aggressively so that he's um, forced to be stuck in a vulnerable position or force himself to push forward, so that at least he's has to consider scoring early. Um, but to Azan's credit, he actually was protecting the ball really well for the most part the whole second half with limited pieces. So it's like the second half. It was kind of hard to nitpick either side in regards to what could have been done better. it would be really the nitpicking. In an aspect like Azenth he kind of overblocked and put himself in a bit of a bind by burning another reroll with a no block on your Mighty Blow guy. But again, we're splitting hairs in regards to what someone should have done versus something else. Well, yeah, that was your biggest opportunity. He really needed to make that 3+ dodge to secure that up. So yeah, the 50, if you said you had a 55% chance to win, you take it, right? So hey, Azenth, well played, especially the second half with so few guys. You did a really good job of stabilizing and making that draw a possibility. KFoged muted?
No, I was arranging walking on Saturday with Leipziger.
Oh.
He just texted. No, it was quite enjoyable. I think again. So what I'm saying is, I'm mainly in the mood of I prefer going for squeaky targets, especially in Rest, over high value targets. I'd rather up my odds of actually getting it than not getting it, especially when I'm already up in players. You blocked it. You couldn't knock anybody on. For the whole first half, it seemed like you couldn't knock anybody down. It was quite hilarious.
And everybody was getting removed.
But that's kind of mine, and I think like Azenth, if anything as well, compared to what team he has, tried to block himself out of too many things instead of just flowing around and try to make AD4 work. For my style of play, but it is quite nothing right and wrong. That's just a different way of playing Blood Bowl. Yeah, it's good for the game the removals didn't continue into second half, because that first half was just bloody like fuck.
Fight, soul fight, hands of stone.
Smack, smack, smack. Everybody going boom boom. No, if I loses, then it's random. I think, right? Me and Sol is on the same. Yeah. So if I loses to carry on, it's random between me and Sol.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Let me look at my own standing. I can. Pretty sure. I think I was only 1 point ahead of you. Yeah, especially again first half. So yeah, we are both on 9 points now, and when we played a draw together. So if I loses the last game to carry on, it's a coin toss between us.
Yeah, it makes the last game meaningful. Hopefully, Mighty Blow will work for me this time.
Yes, if I loses. Hopefully it might blow not. Go away. Yeah, I'm pretty like you've been playing literally with a team of 4 skills.
He doesn't like your accurate thrower.
No, I got Paul. Hate it. It's pretty impressive score for 4 skills. And I do think And I think Skaven has a little bit of a problem with they're quite easy to squeeze for a lot of teams. So they're one of the worst tier 1 teams to begin with. And then playing with a handicap of 2 skills is pretty impressive.
Actually, that's what I mentioned to KFoged. It was the fact that your accurate throw was relevant for 2020.
Not really, because you shouldn't need to pass with Skaven anyway. Handoff should be fine. If you position your players right, one handoff should be enough to get your way all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing with most. The same with Wood Elf. I'm not sure. The only problem with Wood Elf and Skaven is the one turner potentially needs to pass.
Yeah, you don't want to pass anyways, unless you're absolutely forced to do. Oh, that one play, honestly,
Oh,
was probably the pass in the first half where I think you forgot that Eldra was around with Nerds of Steel and pass block with catch.
And catch.
That was a coin flip to lose the game.
That was hilarious. Both of us was just like, what? It's just, did he just pass over Eldril?
So you've confirmed the meme that if you don't recognize the skill, it doesn't become relevant. Like diving tackle. If you don't see it, it doesn't activate. Yeah, to be fair though, I've actually played games where I've actually forgotten Eldril and pass block 3 times in one game. So the fact that you forgot it once.
I think that's my main things. I think you also left stuff a little bit loose when you were a lot of players off. There was a couple of times where there was some tasty tries that shouldn't have been there. I think you maybe got a little bit loose with, but understandable. It's so hard not to be when you're just killing people left and right.